Stanley Farm ownership is from this point to this point right here. Now that Pam bought the farmhouse, which is here. So the original bound, which was all Stanley Farm, was here. And before anybody started dividing anything up, it went from here all the way down to this iron pin at the end of the wall here. And then the sugar house is right about here, right on the edge of this line, not far from this pin, which we stood at right here. And then remember I said there was a pin off on the edge of the power line right away. That's right there. And that angles down on a line that actually comes out alongside what is now the Drury-Vinton property all the way down to the lake. We own, the parcel comes along Newport Road down into the swamp area here, but if you look at that line continues across over to, originally continued across over to the lake over here, and we owned all that frontage along the lake, all the way over that way. And then it comes back up here along this line to a big split rock with a huge 3-inch iron pipe in it right here, and then angles up to here to a drill hole in a wall, and it has what's called a witness near it, which is an iron pin that stands up so that you can know where to look. And then it angles across here to a split rock, and down on the side of the split rock there's a 1/2-inch iron rod that sticks out of it. It's actually like an upside down railroad spike. And then it comes up along that same line to a drill hole in a wall up here at the corner of Kentlands. The only problem is their tennis court sticks over the edge a little bit. But then down to here, which is an iron pipe in a wall, plain as day, can't miss it, angles across along Kentlands to an iron pipe here, and follows that wall all the way up to an iron pin in the ground with a plastic cap on it here. And then remember when we started, I pointed out the mark in the rock, the pin in the rock. That's right there on in the ledge at the edge, and then back down around the Hillis piece to an iron pin in the wall here. Now, obviously Pam's parcel is not part of that, so we actually have only this much frontage on Burpee Hill right here, and then up to the far wall up here, around this way, up this way, around Windmill, and then over here to the wall, and then all the way down. So that's pretty much the loop of what comprises the property. Every single bound can be found. The ones here are actually flush with the ground. This one is flush with the ground, so you can't see it readily unless you have some sort of metal detector.
Where's the old dump?
The old dump is right in this area right here. Right in there. That's where the old dump is. And then the sugar house is right about there. Right on the edge of that property line. I mean, you were 3 paces from the property boundary when you were standing at the lower edge of the sugar house. Right. And this is the area where we'll do our initial harvest, right in through here. That's what's got the highest quality pine in it right now. This is the area up in here where we did substantial thinning. Right up in here, right about in there. This is the area that needs to be thinned, right down in here. And the old spring that feeds that fed the farmhouse is right there. And then the windmill is right there. And the cistern is right up here. And then water flowed by gravity from there down to the farmhouse here. So you had a piston pump actually in the windmill that was actuated by turning gear that pulled the rod up and pushed it down, pulled it up and pushed it down. It kept what's called a positive displacement pump, so it could suck the water all the way from out here up to there, as long as it's primed to begin with, and then force it from there up to the top of the hill. So, and that pump, it went to the scrapyard, but it was in the barn for a long, long time, but it was hopeless. There was nothing that could be done with it.
And then where's the area, the forest management, where you're cutting down the brush for the wildlife out beyond the Christmas trees?
That is right in this field area, right in here. That area, actually this is blueberry pasture right here. What we use for blueberry pasture is right there. This is blueberry pasture gone by up here. But all of this area right out in here is the area that will be managed for wildlife habitat, where we will cut it all back down at some point. So, not to mention the intent in the hardwood area here is to actually clear several acres at a time over the years, each year, to try and get higher quality timber to grow there. So,
Great. All right.
okay.
Thank you.